What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode in our Shadowrun Returns playthrough. I hope you've been enjoying it thus far, and where we had left off, we were trying to take out the bug hive that was underneath the Universal Brotherhood, and that's where we're at. So we read this Into the Depths bit in the last episode, if you're watching back-to-back. If not, it's just saying that there's lots of weird squishy noises happening, like, it's just generally unpleasant. We continue on, down into the belly of the beast. Are you enjoying this? Slumming with shadowrunners and killing insect spirits with insecticide-spewing guns? What's not to love? Onward! We'll snap Woogie back on here. It decided to put him to... That's a lot of electrical discharge. If I was an electrician, I would be extremely worried about the amount of electricity that flies off that controller every time we turn on a bot. I'm gonna sneak him in behind a crate, and hopefully this doesn't backfire on me. Woogie can sneak around in the vents, which is pretty sweet, so we're gonna have him do that. In he goes. And it says that it costs 0 for him to go into the vent, but it actually does cost an AP. Be aware of that if you're running droids. I suppose I'll just move everybody up to the box right here. I'm not gonna over-advance myself right now. Put him on Overwatch as a sort of cover. We'll have my mage kind of show up in the back as well. Harlequin first, go, demigod, with crazy hair and makeup. There it is. So at this point, I think we have to consider that they might bust through a wall at any given moment, and that's gonna kind of dictate, there it is right there, that's gonna dictate how we interact with them as we move through our turn. I'm gonna get Woogie back out of the vent right now, actually. I don't really feel like he's gonna be utilized properly as long as we leave him in there. Let's move him on over to the other side of this crate, and he's gonna take a shot at that bug. We're gonna get the one that's behind us first so that we can fight on this front. This one's gonna have to close with me for a little bit before it can really accomplish anything anyways. Harlequin can shoot a mana bolt at this one. The one thing, Harlequin's abilities aren't that amazing, but he does have really good accuracy with spells, so apparently there's a Trader's Guild sale. God, I forgot to turn off my overlay again. I turn it back on because people like to chat with me while I play games, and every now and again I regret it. I'll take a couple shots with him, possibly. But then again, I don't want him to kill that thing just yet, because we don't have our troops in place. We don't have our buffs taken care of either. Let's get him all nice and tuned up with some accuracy increases. We'll do the same thing with Echeverry on the Ghost. Now that I'm feeling a bit more confident about our ability to take this guy out, we'll actually have everybody just kind of overwatch for now. We'll end the turn there. These things can spit, which is a bit of a letdown. Ooh, and they're both gonna put a sizable amount of damage on our... Oh god. We have problems, my friends. We have big, big problems. I don't really know how I want to engage this. The fact that they're just busting through the walls turns this whole thing into a giant crapshoot. I don't really know which way I want to progress myself, so because he's taken so much damage, I'm actually going to have Splattercat split into action here. 20 HP, how much is he missing? Close that down for a second. He took 9 and he took like 17 before that, so I think that'll work out. We'll give him the 20 HP one. Woogie. The Ghost, let's just kill this one over here. We'll make a fallback. There we go. So we're going to fall back right now to face this guy right here. And it's a bit of a letdown because even when they're defeated, they can still deal a sizable amount of damage. So there's that. I'm going to get him into position right now so that if I kill this thing, I can spray this thing with shells really quickly. She's going to heal that huge amount of damage she just took, that 21. And because she's at point blank, we're actually going to try and drop this one right here and right now if we can. 61% chance at point blank. That's still rough. That's really, really rough. What does the most damage here? Well, depriving AP is never a terrible plan. Oh, we can't use any of those anyways. Well, I guess we'll gamble then. Let's dance with the devil here. 7 damage. Oh, and she's actually tapped out. Okay. Thought she had another ape. Oh, she got hit. That's right. I guess she didn't have another option. He has mana ball that we can sling at this thing, though, and maybe that'll help us out. I don't think that'll hit my own character. If it does, I'm going to regret this deeply. There's 23 damage. That means we can take it out in the next turn. God, that is such a deep shot that he just took. So we're going to have a rotation of just healing going right here. That one's obviously going to respawn. That's okay, though. Harlequin's injured. We need to get a heal on the ghost. And we'll move the ghost down to here. Or, I'm sorry, we'll move Harlequin to here. There we go. Once Harlequin's in place, we're going to get him set up with a reactionary shot in that direction. We're going to fall back behind cover as best we can with these characters because that one's going to respawn. I don't really know. I'm at sort of a loss for what I want to do with Woogie during the course of this whole thing. I can leave him out here as bait. They can't seem to hurt Woogie very much, so I'll leave him out there as bait, I guess. And we'll have the ghost fall back to here, and then ready a reactionary shot for this guy as well when he pops up. We'll have Woogie do the same thing. We'll have her fall back a tad. And she can give an aim buff to whoever she likes, actually. Give it to herself. Everybody else has a reasonably well-running aim buff going. Ooh, 26 damage to Woogie. I take back everything I ever said. There we go. That's exactly the action I was looking for. So let's splat this bug first of all. We'll reload. Woogie actually lost most of his health right there, but we're going to pull him back a tad. With her, we can actually put a couple of mana balls on that guy. Maybe provide ourselves with at least a little bit of cover. We'll kind of see what the cumulative results of that bombardment is. I can't really guarantee anything right now, unfortunately. There's 8 more damage. I wish they weren't. They have such a good range that it makes this whole thing very difficult to calculate. There's a bit more damage from Woogie. Harlequin needs to reload, but then again, Harlequin also has Mana Bolt, which we might consider throwing at that guy. I'm going to close. He's got 1 AP left. We're going to get as close as possible with Harlequin before we pop that Mana Bolt, because I want to be able to close with him and hit him with shotgun blasts if we can. Like right away, basically. Now that we have sort of a front formed, let's see if we can finish him off. No weak hits, hopefully. A weak hit, exactly, I called it. Unfortunately, that means he's going to be back up and ready and raring. 26 damage, oh my god. You gotta be kidding me with this. Like, are you serious? That's like an entire health bar. God. I suppose I can even it out by the fact that I have 2 mages, and that's precisely why I brought another mage with healing. Just so if you take a heavy round like that, we don't have to go through medkits, but there's a certain frustration involved with the fact that I can't injure these things, and at the same time, they just annihilate me. And I have to kill them twice. That's another thing that I hate about them. There's a number of things I hate about these bugs, but they're just an obnoxious, tedious enemy altogether, and it makes me hate them. I'm gonna get everybody in position to whack this bug. There we are. And with AP left to spare, they've both got accuracy up for 1 more turn. I'm gonna bring her, at least get her behind a crate or something so that she doesn't take full damage if she gets hit. I'm thinking the same thing. Well, we'll have Splattercat hang back for now. Woogie's out of... He's less than combat effective, I'll put it like that. Luckily they missed with their spit right there, which means my mage is going to fall back, unfortunately. I don't want her to get hit again. We've got to wait for her heal to be back up and ready to go. She does have the aim buff, though, that she can put on Harlequin, so I'll have her do that so she's not completely wasting her time. And that leaves bug stomping time once again. So 15 damage there. 15 more damage. And 23, so that bug is taken care of at this point. Get everybody reloaded before I forget. And they all have the benefit of cover right now, which is a nice thing to think about. Make you feel better at least a little bit in the long run. This bug's going to have to displace just to take a shot at us, and I'm going to wait eagerly to see how he does that. There it is right there. That leaves my mage with the ability to heal herself really quickly. Lovely. She can... line of sight is blocked, really. That's interesting. I don't see how that line of sight is blocked. I feel... well, there's no grid that I can take a look at to really gauge. That's the big problem, is if I had a grid that I could look at and gauge whether I'm in or out of LOS, right now I'm just sort of eyeballing it. Let's buff his aim accuracy before I do what I'm about to do. This could turn into a long episode. I know you guys never loathe hearing that. This might turn into a long episode based on how long it takes us to actually get the hell up out of here. With a 30 damage crit straight out of the gate, but then a weak hit right after, we're not doing too terribly on this second bug. We'll have Woogie see if he can finish off the job, maybe? Hey, there you go, Woogie. 39 damage in 2 shots I will definitely take. And then we're going to close. As always, let's get as close as possible. Get him ready to get blasted in the face, because we're going to get a little bit of revenge here. We're going to get some buggy retribution. Our revengeance will be well known. His hit accuracy hasn't fallen off, neither is his, so we're good to go there. Everybody else, I think, is pretty much at the end of their combat effectiveness. 1 damage and -1 AP, but the Overwatch is going to offset that. That's why I always have them Overwatch right there, because if we lose an AP, now he only gets 2 shots. It makes up for it. 30 damage, insta-gibbed him. Very nice. Turned him into goo balls. The best type of balls to have your bugs in. There are many balls that your bugs could occupy themselves within, but a goo ball is the one that I would choose. Woogie's a little injured. The music has calmed down a tad, but we're going to want to trigger as many of these ambushes as we can as we move through the halls. They seem to be ready to trigger anytime we're in a compromising position. We'll put Woogie over here in the corner, and we'll just kind of see what pops out. I sense maybe something from there, possibly something from that spiderweb-looking thing right there. There's a lot of possibilities for an ambush, and I'm not entirely pleased about any of them. Because Woogie's injured, I need to keep it a little easy on him. I do have a repair kit, but he lost almost half his... well, he lost half his damage in 1 hit right there, which leaves him in a very, very weakened state. I brought the repair kit with me, so I guess I'll just heal him for now. Not enough AP, actually. Alright, well, I'm not gonna whine or complain. We'll send Harlequin in first. He's a runner of demigod-like proportions. Why not? We'll also place Splattercat right here. I have no clue where the next ambush is gonna come from. Let's bypass a turn and kind of bait it. Woogie, come over here. Just have him sweep in, come to me. We'll get him repaired. So 28 out of the 30. We almost made full use of that kit, so I accept it as a viable response to the situation. Looks like Woogie's got another option right here. So we're definitely going to send him into the vent if at all we can. I don't know where to point. It's a tough call. There are multiple directions I could point possible overwatches at right now, but I guess I'll just do the ones that pretty much cover the entire room. Keep a back against the wall and really hope for the best resolution that we can. Harlequin, I guess I'll just use him to buff for now. Get his aim accuracy back up. There it is. And we'll have him throw... well, really nothing else. There's not a whole lot of other options that he has on the table for the time being. Oh, it gave me -1 AP for going through the grate, so something leads me to believe that that might just be a programming oversight, unfortunately. I don't see anything clickable here, unfortunately. I don't really know what that's supposed to be. I guess he can just get in there and maybe fire out of it, if need be. We'll send Harlequin first, since I don't have any more repair kits left for Woogie, and we have endless supplies of magical reagents, which is good. Oh, he can pop out right there. I guess it was out of line of sight or something. Maybe there's like a little T junction or like a half lowercase f junction. Oh, there's a couple of those guys right there. Alright, let's bypass a turn, see what they do. The Adept's gonna close. He's probably gonna fire a bolt. It's gonna miss, I'm thankful for that. And he's gonna buff this gentleman right here. Okay. I don't like that one bit, but luckily we don't have attacks of opportunity, so I can just have him fall back and then throw a heal on himself really quickly. Just slap a... oh, the second shot only did 5 damage. That's going to be a problem. Well, that's going to be the first really permanent damage we've taken during this whole run, aside from some of the other lesser hits. We've had to use 1 medkit, I think, but I I believe we've got enough. Oh, we've got more than enough medkits on board. Not even going to stress about it. I was feeling a little bit worried because that permanent damage you got to watch out for. I want to rig this door out. I want this to just be a hellfire of death if they come through this door, which I'm willing to bet you he will. There's 23 free damage. And Splattercat's going to take the final 2 shots, hopefully doing the honors and taking this guy out of our collective line of sight by rendering him dead as hell. Oh, they're all coming. That's funsies. Well, let's get everybody in position to welcome them then. Because Harlequin doesn't really have a whole lot of ranged attack options, I'm going to have him fall back maybe. Just get some kind of cover. I'm going to be shady about overwatching. I'm just going to bait overwatches here this entire time if I can. She didn't get an overwatch in the last one, so I'm going to have her step out a little bit wider. Harlequin can buff ranged again. Probably in the best interest to put it on the ghost. $30 damage there on that mage. I like that resolution. They're still gonna keep hitting. I don't know why they are just locked onto Harlequin right now. They really, really want him taken care of. And the game is very deceiving with that regard. Bullets would not kill Harlequin. I just want to make that very clear. Harlequin, yeah. He's unfathomably powerful, so the fact that he's being laid low by bullets right now is incredibly offensive to the lore, but I'm not going to bitch and moan about it too much. Harebrained had to do what they had to do to make the setting fit for the game, just to balance things out, but I just want to make it abundantly clear that bullets would not kill Harlequin, not in the slightest. We'll give him 10 back right now, just to supplement a medkit that I think we're inevitably going to have to use on him. He's looking a little the worse for wear right now. Let's throw one of these level 3s on him. And that puts him almost back up to full health. He took a pretty robust beating right there. They were not really feeling Harlequin's presence. I'm going to send the drone or the droid or whatever you want to call him first forward. Keep everybody lined up against a wall as best we can in case they decide to bust through here. They didn't when I sent Harlequin in first, but they might. There we go. That's about what I... God. That's about what I had expected. Them trying to split me in half right now. That's incredibly fun as a gameplay mechanic. We'll get Harlequin back into the room. Accuracy there. We'll have him accuracy buff Echeverry. I feel like in the most recent combat scenarios, our accuracy has just been miserable, and I don't know if that's due to the fact that I've just been using shadowrunners that I normally wouldn't rely on, but for the time being, he's actually in cover right now. He's a bombardier. That's fun. That elicits all kinds of terrifying possibilities. I suppose I'll spread out as best I can. There's not a whole lot of room here to make do, but if he steps out, I definitely want him to eat a couple shells. I don't have many other options right now. I just don't like his ranged or his melee attack, so I don't want to rely on it too heavily. That was beautiful. I couldn't have hoped for better. That was just so gorgeous that was exactly where we wanted all this. So there's 32 more damage. This thing is pretty beefy, all things considered. I think Woogie's going to be able to lay it down softly. Let's make sure that all of my guys that are going to be taking shots are prepared to land all the hits that they're going to take. I'm very worried that we're not going to have the firepower to kill these things in one turn. I wish the developers had given some thought to maybe letting them have 2 turns before they respawned, because that fills my mind with doubt about whether we can actually, if we miss one shot, basically more than one shot, we miss more than one shot at point blank with this thing and it respawns, and then we have just this little nightmare sitting in our midst. Let's go ahead and get everybody locked away on Overwatch, get some freebie hits if indeed we can, and then we'll bypass. We got 23 damage right there with a half crit. He's not going to take his attack of opportunity or his Overwatch. Oh, I had the wrong weapon equipped anyways, so no harm, no foul there. He's going to miss one of the vital shots though, but he's going to make the second one. I'm going to step him out of the way instead of reloading. Oh, I didn't want to do that. God, these misclicks. And down it goes. So the nasty bug is out of the way. We no longer have anything to worry about from him, aside from random explosive spawns, which are slightly terrifying. So let's advance. We have nowhere else to go but forward, so I'm gonna stick to that mantra. Onwards we go. Taking Eshavari. She's very squishy, so I think I'll put her up in this corner, possibly. My guess is that we've more or less gotten this whole thing cleared out. I don't know what ritual they're going to put me up against. Splattercat right now is really my only character who's managing to be as accurate as I would prefer him to be. Nothing in this room to interface with, so let's send Woogie into a vent. I don't see anything terrifying there. But I'm going to avoid the temptation of getting myself too comfortable in this room right here because we could get exploded upon at any moment. He's out of ammo. Let's have him make sure his little burst gun of snotty juice is all ready to roll. The assault rifle's okay. And that leaves Eshavari with brief, precious moments to sort of sit around and think about what she wants to do. I don't have anybody that's ready to collect a heal aside from Harlequin. 1 damage, why not? We'll just throw a heal on him. We don't really have anything else to apply ourselves to. And let's hang out in this room for a moment. I'm going to do a bit of scouting with Woogie, just to see what we can pop. Because if there's a cork, I would definitely prefer it popped right now. Nothing we can see through the vent, but maybe taking Woogie into that area will trigger something. There it is. That's what I was hoping for. We'll send Woogie back into the vents right now and let them close with us in whatever manner they deem appropriate. Splattercat being the most accurate, I'm going to have him sit and possibly take a shot there. We'll get Woogie back into a vent. Doesn't look like he can fire out of the vents, so I guess I'm going to assume we can just dance him in and out if we need to. We'll move the mage into position, kind of, so that only minor adjustments are necessary with our positioning. We'll put the ghost in position too. Ooh, that gives him line of sight. Never mind, we're going to step back over this way slightly, hopefully to deprive him of that. And while I'm giving up my possible attacks of opportunity by doing so, that does force him to come to me, which is never a bad thing. Woogie's already used up. Eshavari can buff herself with accuracy. There we are. Let's end the turn and kind of see what comes knocking. Splattercat's going to get his freebie Overwatch, but our ghost is going to dodge and attack over to his corner of this sphere. Oh, there's a bunch of them. Oh my god. Alright, well we're going to need some fairly serious bombarding abilities actually right now. I'm going to want to AoE as many of these as possibly. If we can deal damage and get them all right to the point where they're about to blow, that's going to be the best situation for all of us. So there's the first AoE. That's going to leave him somewhat compromised. And he's going to be our first target. I don't want to use... Let's take a look and see what we can do here. Mana Ball, there we go. That's exactly what I want. So let's Mana Ball the hell out of him. And so we've got 1 bug down now. And that leaves Harlequin needing to be up front, sort of. I'm nervous about the way that this is going to go down because they do have a solidified front here. And that leaves us sort of choosing which targets to shoot at, I guess. We'll have, if Woogie can take one out, that'd be great. I don't want to put any confidence in that plan, but it might happen. Splattercat, as long as we don't... I get the feeling that because he's called a bombardier, we might get hit with AoEs from him. And that's something that I don't want to tempt. I don't want to tempt fate on that one. We'll move the ghost forward, but I'm not going to Overwatch for the sole reason that this guy is up still and mobile, which means we could trigger the attack on the wrong enemy right here. This is going to get really ugly really fast. So there's 2 damage and a -2 to his AP. So he has no AP right now whatsoever. I don't know what our plan is at this point, but this whole thing has backfired on us. Unless we crit with our ghost, we cannot kill one of these guys and they're going to respawn. I simply don't know what to do right now. I just don't know what to do. The guns don't have enough AP to come through for us. Okay, so we killed 1 bug. I feel a little bit better. The gods of RNG decided not to kick us in the groin right there. And I feel good about that. We're going to have to... Ooh, he's going to respawn. I guess we'll put up a... I don't even know what to do right now. These guys are bad enough when they come in their own little straggling forces, but when they have like a group like that that's very close together, you AoE them down, but you know you can only kill so many, and because they get a free hit when they pop out of their shells, that creates a very interesting contingency to the whole plan. We're gonna go after this one next. I hope. Let's take our... He doesn't have his aim bonus. Let's give him an aim bonus really quickly so that he is guaranteed a hit almost, barring any ridiculous statistical swings in the pendulum. There we go, 98. So there's 15 damage. Hopefully we can kill this one right here. Wait, why does he still have so many? He lost 2 AP when he got hit. I think the game just bugged right there because he's got full AP even though he took the damage. Let's get the ghost ready to go. All right. We're going to reload. I want to make sure everybody's reloaded for the bombardier, and let's spread out. So he's going to get away from here because that's a nice little cluster we have going, which leaves me very intensely suspicious. I think an auto fire might hit my own troops from right here. Let's have him reload. I'm not going to do the full auto. Let's do a burst fire. There's 32 and a miss. I would have preferred a double 32. That would have made me happier. But you can't always get what you want, to quote the old song. The mage, I'm terrified to move into point blank, but I think the mage might actually possibly be able to end this, but only by moving into a cluster right here, which baits an AoE. That leaves me in multiple states of apprehension about it. I'm going to move up to here and just risk her getting clawed, I guess. 14 there. Let's hope. Oh, never mind. She only had 2 AP. Yeah, that's what I was a bit worried about. That's ugly. That's real ugly. That was an AoE of note. Let's see if the mage can get this guy dropped now. Consider stepping back and healing somebody too. That 15 heal is going to be vital. We need to get 15 HP back on him. I'd like to get some more HP on Splattercat, but there we go. We've dropped that enemy. Harlequin's got 3 AP left, which means I'm going to move him into position for the freebie attack. We're also going to get our ghost all nice and situated. This might backfire. I think I forgot to buff their accuracy. Yeah, the Tyre-tying Gear Ghost is going to lose his accuracy on this turn. Ooh, minus 2 AP. That's no fun, but we gibbed him instantly, so that's the payback that he gets. He's just going to have to take it in that case. We're going to reload here. Took a Venom Bomb. Minus 2 body. God, that is a debuff. That is a debuff, my friends. That is a debuff of note. The Mac Daddy of debuffs. I don't really know which way to go here. Looks like we got technological fixins going on over in that corner. Is her heal back up? It's not. Harlequin, let's get you healing somebody then. I'll heal Splattercat. That works out for me. Let's continue forward. We've just got a busted wall over here. Let's see if we can get ourselves expanded out. Maybe just getting a little bit of line of sight on anything that might sneak up on us. We'll send Woogie out as a very far advanced scout. I didn't see anything in and over this way, but this entire place could just burst to life at any moment. I want to stick together as best as possible. I'm getting flashbacks to Game Over Man type scenarios from Aliens right now. Let's get him back on his assault rifle and overwatching something. As long as a certain direction is overwatched, I'll feel better. We'll try to keep some kind of ring focused for overwatches. He needs to reload, sadly enough, so I can't overwatch with him. That's our next turn. Let's send Woogie over here with an AP and just see what's waiting for us. A bridge. Hopefully not a bridge too far, as I would loathe to get myself in over my head like that. But let's end the turn. The game seems to trigger based on who's the furthest expanded out, or based on the positioning of your troops, maybe? Past a couple turns right there, I think we're safe. Let's cross the bridge really quickly. I loathe to leave Splattercat as my most extended unit. I'll put Woogie in the front since he's a little bit more expendable than our main event. Let's get the Tyre-tying Gear Ghost all up and set up behind a rock, so at least he's got a little bit of cover. Take our other units and move them as quickly as possible, too. Keep them spread out lightly, just in case there's another bombardier. That AoE that they used really distinctly set them as the enemy that I would love to blast first, is how I would choose to word it. They are definitely the preliminary target if we have the option. Let's get him buffed while we have the chance. I hate to do that in the middle of combat. If we could use the AP on a possible mana bolt or something of that nature. Send the Woogster out to this center location and hope that nothing bursts out of these little sideways here. Okay, we've got a few more dudes that are waiting for us. There's a bunch of loot in here, though. It makes me pretty happy. I'm going to move up the ghost to this cover here. Oh, he missed. It's okay. We didn't need him to do anything anyways. And have my mage. That's inside of her 2 range. Good. I'm going to have her step on the other side of the cover, but it has the added benefit of allowing her to maybe put some fire on any enemy that tries to get too intrepid. Alrighty, so you, sir, have victim written on your forehead. Ooh, very nice. I accept that wholeheartedly. That was the best result I could have ever wished for. That allows me now to get as many people situated as possible. Give the other aim buff to her. Beyond that, let's move Harlequin forward a bit. There we go. I got him in the spot that I wanted. It was being a little finicky about his positioning, but I got it. We got him all nice and wiggled into space. We're going to do another burst fire right there if we can. We'll have the mage kind of rotate out as well in case there's anybody else in the room. It has triggered a new turn for us, though, so let's go in with Woogie. As always, our first little dude on site, overwatched. I was a little worried about that. It's okay, though. He doesn't seem to have found purchase with any of his bullets. Since that is what we're trying to avoid, we don't want any long-term purchases occurring on our watch. Our ghost can get in there, and he's going to miss, unfortunately. With 1 AP, we can line up with the door and hopefully take some... Yeah, we'll take a couple magical blasts at this guy if we can help it. Can't guarantee a kill, but once again, we can cross our fingers and fail miserably. Because Harlequin is ready to go, we can get him into the room, and he's got amazing magical accuracy, and that's exactly what we're going to give him. He's going to use his mana bolt right here, and hopefully this will lay this guy low. It didn't. It did not. He's immune. I was just trying to play around with possible ideas there for blasting him before we got ourselves into trouble. We may get hit with an auto fire right here. Oh, his spirit broke. He's lost his pride. He's all ready to fall. Let's check out some of this loot that we can get our hands on. The ghost has an extra spot, so he's got a phosphorus grenade. He's got a premium med kit. We're going to leave the item alone. We'll pick it up with somebody else who's got extra space. Splattercat's our guy on point for healing our units anyways, so we'll give him the med kit. There it is. He's got a little bit of extra space to begin with, so we'll have him search the rest of this too. A locked safe that has both a card reader and a data jack. Decking 5, we can hack the safe's lock. There it goes, giving us access to the goodies within. Dockwagon Platinum Trauma Kit, very nice. That might come in handy later. We'll check what's on the table here. It's medically marked. It's a gold edition version, so we're going to swap out our worst Dockwagon kit for that one right there. And that leaves us... Wait, what's going on here? I thought I picked that up already. Oh, I guess we'll leave it alone for now. Can Woogie pick it up? Hell yeah, Woogie's gonna take it. We'll take it off him later. I'm a little worried about giving it to any of my Shadowrunners because they might take it with them when we leave after this mission. I don't know if this is the last part of our little gathering, but let's check this. The door is unlocked. Alrighty. Let's get Echeverry all lined up, and it looks like we've got the edge of our next scene. Good. Because we were going to run along anyways, and I'm worried about my hard drive space right now, and I don't really have the money to replace it with a better hard drive. It's a pretty speedy hard drive, though, all things considered for rendering and everything else. Let's get ourselves in here, and in the next episode, it looks like we're going to tackle the remainder of the Universal Brotherhood. So, as we get here, actually, I'll read the story before we bounce on out. I don't like to leave you guys with these extra little screens here. The bug shaman, a rhythmic thrumming, punctuates the air, passing through you, vibrating your lungs and your chest and making it hard to breathe. It's an electricity that makes the hair on your skin stand up in protest. Ahead, you hear the sounds of chanting, accented by the moist wriggling of larvae. There are low rumbles, or larvae. I'm going to say that because people get kind of stingy about pronunciation sometimes. There are low rumbles, too, stone on stone. The sense of imminence is everywhere. Something is coming, and it has to be stopped. Thank you for joining me here in the Nerd Castle. We will have our epic finale in the next episode. Run safely in the shadows and take care out there, everybody. I had a blast.